This video is for you if you feel like you're not really where you want to be in life. Like time passed way too quickly and you lost yourself on the way. Like your authentic self, the one with goals, dreams, and aspirations, is now hidden under layers of other people's expectations, attempts to please others, and efforts to not take up too much space. It's for you if you want to change that. I happen to be that person too. And because I'm an artist and I usually deal with my issues through art, I drew some illustrations about this. Hopefully, they will make us feel better about this and encourage us in the process of coming back to our true selves. I will have to get a bit personal in this video for all of this to make sense, so buckle up and let's get to it. During November last year, I fell into a depressive episode. I have been dealing with depression on and off since my late teen years, and I somewhat learned to manage it by now, but there are always times when it gets worse. This time, I think it got triggered by the fact that being 28, I'm not exactly where I hoped I would be by now in my life. When I was 16, 17, 18, I had these big dreams and goals in life. I thought everything would be possible. Nothing would stop me. I imagined that by now I would have a successful career and have everything figured out. I did not think that I would still feel so lost. Maybe even more so than I was back then. I realized that looking back at my life, very little has changed from when I was 18 till now. I kinda became stagnant. I traded having life experiences that were outside of my comfort zone for safety. I kept betraying myself because that meant I get to keep that safety. You know, like not sharing my opinions because I knew it would disturb the peace with the other person. Not doing something because I was worried what would people think? Dressing up in a way that was expected of me as a woman and not in a way I would be comfortable in. So at first, I just wallowed in my depression. I put myself down for not making better life decisions. I was angry at myself for not doing the things I knew were right and I wanted to do them in the fear of others judging me. I let all of this consume me and made myself think that I wasted my 20s. But one thing you should know about me is that I'm quite stubborn. And so when I got out of the worst of it, I decided that I will make things work somehow. I will make 2026 my growth and transition year. And one way of doing that is going back to my authentic self, my inner child, if you will. The person I am without the expectations and judgments from others. What is she like when nobody's watching? What does she truly want? And how can I act in accordance with her? And well, this is not an easy process to do. It's slow, hard, and can get quite painful. And this is where the ice metaphor comes in. When I was thinking about how to best depict all of these feelings in my art, frozen objects came to mind, namely frozen nature. Ice preserves things. What is hidden underneath it is frozen in time, dormant. It is still there. You can see the potential of it, but the environment it was in didn't allow it to fully bloom, grow, or ripen. It is safe there, but also stagnant. If you want to get to the beautiful flowers and fruits that are underneath there, you can just start breaking the ice with force, because then you would damage the thing that is hidden there. You have to slowly start melting the thick layer of ice. You have to be patient. The process may hurt, and you might get a little frostbite here and there, but it's worth it, because once you're done, you will be rewarded with the sight of beautiful blooming garden, one you will be excited to spend your time in. The garden is your authentic self. The flowers and fruit, the parts of you that you've kept hidden. And the layers of ice, the reasons why you kept them hidden. The ice can be trying to fit social norms. It can be listening and acting according to what other people want from you, even though you don't align with it. It can be you trying to hide your true self in order to not bother anyone and to not stand out. The important part is that the true you is still there. It's waiting for you to be ready to start melting the ice. Now, If your true self is frozen under a thick layer of ice, how do you go about that? How do you unfreeze a whole garden? Well, slowly. One flower at a time. The melting of the ice doesn't need to happen in these grand, doing a complete 180 turn things. That would be you barging into the frozen garden with a sledgehammer. It can and should happen in small everyday moments. And that can look like allowing yourself to say no, even though you're expected to say yes. It can look like dressing in clothes that make you happy, not to fit in. It's proving you can rely on yourself. It's making that scary call, having that daunting conversation, daring to do the first step towards the direction you want your life to be headed. It is choosing yourself in the daily, mundane things and slowly working towards your goals, one step at a time. And yes, doing all of those things is hard. So hard. You have to keep choosing yourself over and over and over again and having to face the consequences of doing so. But the alternative is leaving the ice untouched. And do you really want to stay frozen forever? Deciding how to portray this topic in my art was a fun challenge for me. This theme requires a certain softness and blurriness. Yet in my art, I usually use vibrant colors and draw all the details. So I went for a compromise. The bold colors are there, but softened by the ice. The same way your true self, in all of its vibrancy, is still present, but it's distorted and covered by the need to make yourself small to fit in, which is not something that cannot be changed because ice is not permanent. It can be melted. Some of the flowers are already melting to remind you that even though it's a slow process and you might not see the change immediately, things are happening. You are slowly melting the ice every time you choose yourself. Apart from the flowers and berries, I also included a ghost apple sticker. A ghost apple happens when an apple that is already too ripe freezes over on a tree and the inside rots away while the outer layer of the ice stays intact. And I think this still applies to our ice metaphor. Not all things were meant to be kept, and sometimes you may realize that the effort you put into unthawing one thing led to nowhere. And it's not actually something you would like to keep. And that's okay. If it was a smooth process, it wouldn't be so daunting. Now, you may be thinking, you're the Slavic artist, so where are the Slavic influences in this work? I kept them subtle this time, but the character in the full illustration, who would generally be perceived as a woman, is wearing a traditional male folk dress. You can interpret this as the character having to wear clothes they're not comfortable in, but I actually meant it the other way around. This is what they feel comfortable in, and this is their first step towards self-discovery. And that's why the first flower branch is melting. I also wanted the artworks to have some words included that would encompass the whole theme, and I figured that a final sticker that you could put somewhere that you will be looking at it quite often would be the perfect place for it. At first, I was thinking about including something like, "You have time," or "Change takes time," but that felt too generic. So I went for one flower at a time. Those of you who know the backstory will know what it means. And if anyone asks about it, it can be a nice conversation starter. In general, these artworks are here to remind us to keep choosing ourselves. Whenever you feel like you're not exactly where you'd like to be and that things aren't happening as quickly as you'd like them to, I want the artworks to remind you that change takes time, and that's okay. Even a tiny bit of warmth in the form of doing what's authentic to you starts melting the ice away. The stickers are here to reassure you that the true you is still there, frozen in time. It's waiting for you to be ready to thaw it out. It never left you. It was always there with you. Whenever you look at the print, I want you to know that even though the process of getting back to the true you seems overwhelming at first, it is worth it, because eventually you will be rewarded with the sight of a beautiful blooming garden. And the vinyl sticker is here to remind you that change doesn't have to be instant. It can happen slowly, one flower at a time. Now the question remains, what will I do with these artworks? To me, they go together. They work in a bundle and complement each other. And so I decided that this will be the first theme of my quarterly snail mail subscription. Not a monthly thing. I used to do monthly subscriptions and all it led me to was a burnout. This one will renew every 3 months. That means there will be a seasonally themed bundle for every season of the year. That means 4 bundles per year in total. Creating art like this that is very close to my heart takes quite a lot of time. And having a dedicated theme every 3 months will give me plenty of time to flesh out the idea, take my sweet time to create the illustrations, and get all of the products made. This is a way to get the products with a cheaper shipping because I will be sending them as letter mail. It will be like a nice little letter from me you will receive every 3 months. Plus, you'll actually get a cute letter that will explain the theme behind the illustrations. This is also a way to get my art in a country where I don't normally ship to, because the snail mail makes it way easier. Turning these illustrations into a subscription is my small way of thawing one area of my own garden. Financial stability has been a big topic for me, as I expect is for everyone. And having a regular stream of income, even if it's just once every 3 months, will be a huge help for me. If these artworks spoke to you, if you like what I do in general, I cordially invite you to sign up and let me send you a letter every 3 months. Before you do though, please know that these artworks will tackle various topics. All of them will touch on Slavic customs, mythology, traditions, and aesthetic, but you know me. I am ready to call a tradition out if I find it outdated. I'm a feminist and I will be challenging stereotypes. If you don't align with that, then the subscription is probably not for you. In the summer bundle, I plan to celebrate lesbian love. I will return to my characters Lada and Jarmila, who you can remember from this artwork, but this time I'd like to draw them older and see how their love has grown and evolved over the years. So that's something you can look forward to in July 2026. But for now, you can sign up to get this bundle of art. I hope that whenever you get the idea that you're falling behind in life, or that you don't have everything figured out, or that you lost your authentic self, you imagine a frozen garden that is slowly melting, and realize that even if you don't see it right now, change is happening. Slowly. One flower at a time.